Alright guys, we're doing some videos on dynamic pinning. The idea that in order to maintain a pin against a skilled person for a long period of time, we have to learn to move and adjust our body to accommodate for their escape attempt. If we just try to hang on and squeeze for dear life, a skilled person is going to find a way to get out. We need to move around their body, move our body around their body to shut down their escape attempts. So we already looked at the lower body, how to recover the lower body when he's escaped the lower body. Now let's talk about how to recover back position when our partner starts escaping the upper body. From back control, I want what's called a head trap. So I have a seat belt here where I have one arm over. That's going to be my choking arm, the one that can access the neck. That goes over the shoulder. And on the other side, we have a hand that goes under the shoulder. That's going to be my control arm. It helps me maintain control. From here, this is a seatbelt. I want to keep what's called a head trap, where I have my head on one side and my choking arm on the other. This is the only way that I can get a choke on Adam. My choking arm on one side of his head and my head on the other side. If Adam can beat this, either bringing his head around my head or bringing his head to the other side of my choking arm, I can no longer choke him, and he's starting to change the angle on me, so it's going to be easier for him to escape. So let's look at how to deal with the situation where he falls to and escapes his head from the choking side, and we'll do it from the underhook side as well. Let's do the underhook side first. So let's say we're here. Adam falls to the underside, and now what Adam wants to do is he wants to take his head forward and take his head toward the mat. So now he has my head and my choking arm on the same side. If I lock a choke in on here, I won't get it. I don't have the right angle. So what I like to do from here is something called the head pummel. From this situation, what I like to do is I like to take my choking hand, I reach up here, grabbing the head, kind of the crown of the head or the far side of the crown, so I'm kind of almost grabbing the ear on this side, and I physically lift his head, pulling it back to the other side of my head. And then from here, I'm going to take my chin, and I put my chin on the shoulder. When Adam goes to pummel his head a second time, so it's hard for him to get around my head. Again, on the underhook side, he escapes the head trap by pummeling his head to the floor. I can reach around, grabbing the head, physically lifting it off the mat. I pull it right back here, bringing my head forward, and we lock back in. Adam goes to repummel the head a second time, and I make sure I keep driving my head forward so he can't get around my head. That's how to stop his upper body escape on the underhook side. Let's look at it when he tries to beat the head trap on the choking side. Or here, Adam falls to the choking side. Now what he wants to do is he wants to 2-on-1 my wrist, come up and around, taking his head to the side of my choking arm. Now he can start scooting his shoulders to the mat, getting his elbow to the floor between me and him, and now I'm no longer behind him. So again, he falls to the choking arm side. He goes up and over. When I feel this, my left hand is going to take a deep claw grip here. I want to keep my arm inside this elbow. If he gets his elbow to his ribs, he can start getting his elbow to the mat and turning and facing me. If I can keep my arm here, when Adam goes to take his elbow to the floor or between my ribs and his ribs, this elbow, go ahead, he can't. My arm blocks it. So even though this is up and over, the choking arm, my left arm stays underneath the elbow. I reach through, I get this claw grip. Now from here, I'm going to turn toward the mat so I can get my right elbow free. Here. Now, I can start driving myself up into like an arm triangle position, and I could go for an arm triangle submission from here. If you're interested in just recovering back wrist, I grab my own wrist for a Kimura seatbelt. If I need to, if he's more on his back, I can force him to his side by posting on the elbow, pulling on the wrist to force him up to his side. From here, I grab my own wrist. Now from here, I sit to my butt in an upright position, pulling him across my body, and we land back right here where we want to be. Again, he pummels the head to the mat over here, beats the head trap on this side. I grab the head, perform a head pummel. We push the action to the other side. He 2-on-1s the choking arm up and over. My underhook arm goes across, grabs the neck for a claw grip, and I pull my right elbow free, coming up to this position here. He starts to escape his hips probably. Come up to this position. Now from here I could try to finish an arm triangle, or I go across grabbing the wrist, stay on your back. I can use this gift wrap grip, posting on the elbow to turn his body, so I can get my own wrist and expose his back to me. From here, I take my knee in underneath his head, pulling him right up into my lap, falling to the opposite side, and we have back control once again. From back control, we're always looking to trap both of his arms, leaving me with a free hand with which I can fight my way underneath the neck and choke him out here.